Hi, I'm Victoria of Victoria's Press. Are you that person? The person in the family who does the family tree, who has the time and the documents and perhaps even the family Bible, and you are collating all of it together to share with family? Can you share it with family? Or is it all just going to sit in a box on a piece of paper or maybe in an album put away till maybe you're gone and somebody finds it all, and then the cycle starts again. It goes on to someone else and they become the person in the family with the family Bible and all the documents. Let me show you what I found. We all have them, don't we? Somewhere in our house there is a box that is full of photographs. Some of them old photographs. Some of them with names on the back of them, and some of them not identified at all. We need some help with that if we're going to get these things sorted and put in a place where everyone can enjoy them. What are we going to do? Then there's those of us who have gone down the ancestry rabbit hole and have discovered that we can download documents relevant to our ancestors quite legitimately and keep them. And so then what do you do with those? Well, I did something that I was really quite proud of, and I'm sure I am not alone in that. So the next logical step was to create a family album, a hard-covered family album. I took all my downloaded images that I got off family ancestry sites and turned them into JPEGs. I had scanned all my family photographs and turned them into JPEGs, organized everything, uploaded everything. I had such a ball creating this album. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, when it arrived with its first print, there was a terrible typo. The type you wouldn't want to show to your grandmother typo. So back it goes. I fix it online, back it goes. Another one comes, but by the time the second album had arrived, I had some new information that I wanted to include. So I was a bit disappointed that this was a very static, one-of type of thing that I couldn't do anything with after that. It was done, and it sits on my shelf. It actually sits here in my office, and I do look at it from time to time. But I can't share it. I can't do much with it, but I found a better way. Of course, what's a family tree without a family tree? So I used all the information I had acquired off some various different sites around the internet. And I used a simple thing as Excel and created my family tree. Once I had done this, a few things really were highlighted, and what I discovered was that my grandparents were actually third cousins. So that was really kind of interesting. And I got quite a kick out of that. And that sparked a conversation with my family. And that was also led me to what I did next. What I did next was I turned my Excel version of my family tree, and I'm not a professional, I turned that into something that I can share, and something that I can add details to, something that I can add photographs to, and geographical reference to, context, lots of context. It fell together so beautifully, and what I had then was something that I didn't have to attach to an email. It was something a bit more than that. Taking a step back, what started me on my family tree journey was this document that was handed to me back in the 1990s, early 1990s, that my second cousin had done. And she was the lady in the family that was doing family tree research. And I'm probably one of 3 or 4 people that actually has this old Xerox copy. It's fading, and a lot has happened since this was done. And so it needed a bit of something else to keep my second cousin's work alive and continuing into the future. And I found a way to do that too. Now what I was able to do was take that exact same document, not a photograph, but a document, and I was able to share that. And what that did was it allowed me to hear stories from other family members that I found quite by accident in my family tree growing journey. And now this old Xerox copy of a family tree that was made 30-something years ago is now being brought to life again with geographical references, photographs, and the private sharing of the information is just wonderful. But it doesn't stop there. I was able to take that hard-covered, multiple mistakes, missing information, family album, and turn it into an exact, digitally shared family album that any information that I would add to it are now able to go into this new album. It's private, it's secure, and it can be updated. It's magic. Now let's not forget that when we're going back decades into another century, what we do get are some documents, not a lot of photographs, but some documents. And as I did with doing my ancestry work, I had some documents that I had downloaded and turned it into JPEGs. So what I was able to do with my now wonderful family album was I was able to include those JPEGs in the album and link through to them so that other family members could also see them. 28 pages of my hard-covered album are now 28 slides in my digitally presented album. It's a treat, and because I can share it around, these documents who some people would never see and never have an interest in, they can see them now. But let's not forget what sparks our interest, what sparks our need to know, and it's usually in a photograph. The photograph, who's in that photograph? Who are these faces looking back at me? And this photograph is a family tree all on its own. 8 children, grandchildren of the woman on the right, and it's the most beautiful photograph. What does it tell us? Well, there is a way to find out, and there's a way to share it. This one photograph reveals so many things. 8 children who all now are gone, but they all had family, and they all had grandchildren and nieces and nephews. With this photograph, I'm able to share and crowdsource stories from my cousins and second cousins, and it continues on. It's a beautiful photograph, and with it, I'm also able to add in those dates that are so important for ancestry. When were they born? When did they pass? Perhaps where did they live? What did they do for a living? Can all be inside this photograph and shared with family. So, what has all this told us? It's told us a few things. That photos and documents and information can be shared. We know this. We want to do it privately, not on social media. And storytelling comes from more than one voice. And I have a memory, and other people have memories that will add to the story of our family. And a family tree is more than just names and dates on a page. What's hidden behind all that? That's the fun bit. Engaging family in storytelling brings the past forward. It brings it to now. It's really wonderful that we can do this. If you'd like some more information or see how I've done it in more detail, visit victoriaspress.com, and I'd be happy to share it with you. Thanks for stopping by. See ya!